He is sharp and charming and does stories that will melt your heart and make you laugh. He has that many qualities. Mr. Tony Figueroa.
Lower this a little bit. I was running a bunch of errands in North Hollywood, specifically the NoHo Arts District, right? So I'm doing a bunch of stuff, and it's in the area where all the theaters are located. And I had a little downtime, and I really just wanted to find some place where I could decompress. And I noticed there was this little coffee house in that area. Yeah, well, I wasn't here, I was in NoHo. Don't judge me. And so, there's a parking spot right in front of the place, so I thought, oh, this is perfect. And I walk into this place, and it's very rustic, rural. If you've been to the Midwest, it's kind of like a mini Cracker Barrel. That's kind of what it looked like. Or if you don't know that reference, if you remember Ike's on the wall tints, the whole design, it was like a little mercantile. You had all of this stuff hanging off the shelves, like old-fashioned coffee pots and ladles and wooden spoons and that thing that you put the flour in that you turn the little crank, and I don't know what purpose. Sifter. Thank you. Thank you. It's a sifter? Okay. So you have the sifter, you have all of that cool, quaint stuff, and then you have like the old-fashioned counter that has pastries underneath it, and then you have, a barista, at this little general store type place. And it was just kind of quaint. I thought, let me kick back here. I need to do some writing. I need to, kind of just reassess what I'm going to be doing that day. There were only 3 other people as customers and the barista. There was one couple at one table and a single guy over at another table. So I go to the barista, I said, what's your coffee of the day? She tells me what it is, and she apologizes, it still needs to brew, so do I have a few minutes? I said, yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the eye candy here. And I'm walking around, and I'm smelling the Danish, and I said, I need one of those too, so have that ready with the coffee. Let me just kind of soak in the ambiance. And I'm looking at all the stuff that's hanging there, and the couple that are at one table, the conversation starts getting a little louder. And the woman in the couple says at a very loud voice, what do you mean you're not ready to take the commitment further? The guy is speaking more in an inside voice, I think trying to bring her down to his vocal level, and he's being a little bit more composed. I'm guessing maybe they came here to avoid, but her voice is getting louder. And then it's all, look at all that I sacrificed, look what I did with my life so I could be with you, and now you decide that so you know the script, right? It's just kind of one of those things. I think, either you have witnessed it or maybe you have been a participant in this dialogue. So now, this place where I was going to kick back, do some writing, hang out, enjoy a coffee and a pastry. I still want my coffee, so I'm looking at the counter, and the barista's gone. She kind of just slipped into the kitchen. You know how in the Westerns, when the gunslinger comes in through the doors, and the bartender just kind of slinks away? Right? That kind of what's happening, and they're getting louder, or she's getting louder. He's trying to keep the volume at that level, failing miserably. And I'm kind of looking in towards the kitchen there. I make eye contact with the barista, who's very nervous, and I just go, I'll have that to go. And it's getting louder. And it's still, coffee's still brewing, and I can see she's putting the little pastry in a bag for me, and then it's like she comes up, is this cash or credit card? It's cash, here you go. She goes back, rings it up, and I'm noticing the other guy, that's, single guy at the table, he's mesmerized. He thinks it's freaking pay-per-view. And he's watching, and now I am I'm sure this woman is going to eventually get up from the table and really start flailing. All those quaint little items hanging on the wall, I'm thinking, any one of these things could be a projectile. I mean, I don't want to get hit in the head with a sifter. And I'm waiting for the coffee and the Danish, because I still want that, you know? That's the thing, in hindsight, what the hell was I doing hanging out there? But no, and so I'm thinking, well, once she starts, you know, I want to find the door, and now I'm looking at this idiot, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, this is, you know, the kind of this man bonding thing. I need to put my hand on his shoulder and say, dude, we need to get out of here. Because as soon as she notices you're staring at her having this, you're going to be part of the conversation. And you will have no dialogue. And so the coffee is ready, and then all of a sudden, hand on the table, she gets up. Well, fine. You are ruining the best thing you ever had. And as I'm heading to the door, she's heading to the door. So my instinct now is, ooh, let me look at that ladle. That's But just as she has her hand on the knob, Mr. Pay-Per-View is going, that was great! Only this time, don't bring the volume up so loud. Have some place to go. And I'm looking at the barista, who's looking at me, who's just mouthing, she didn't know. And I'm just grabbing my coffee, my Danish, and I'm going back home to Hollywood where people are normal. So I'm drinking coffee, eating my Danish in front of TV. I'm going to meet Donna in about an hour or so for lunch in Hollywood. She happens to be auditioning in Hollywood, and when the time comes for our rendezvous, I'm walking down Yucca, and I see an attractive woman walking down Yucca, kind of parallel, other side of the street, and she is now having a conversation with her invisible friend. Now see, normally in other places, the crazies look crazy, the clothes are dirty and torn, you know, but here in LA, the guy who shot at the McDonald's was wearing a suit carrying a briefcase, so you don't know. Anyway, she's having a conversation. So I am avoiding her, but now she crosses over to my side. So I go to the other side. And she crosses over to the other side. And the conversation with her invisible friend is getting louder. You got me pregnant, you son of a bitch! And now she's getting closer to me, and I'm thinking, I didn't get you pregnant. And then she comes up, God damn it, you son of a bitch, you got me pregnant, And then she comes up and says, excuse me, which way is Ivar? And I'm looking at her and I'm going, Donna's audition is on Ivar. I wonder if no, they can't be auditioning for the same part. No, no. This woman was, I could see, she pulled her hair back, she had a Bluetooth on. She's doing lines through her Bluetooth out in the middle of the street in Hollywood, where we're supposed to be sitting. I finally get over to the California Pizza Kitchen, and there's Donna at a table. And I see Donna with a couple of pieces of paper, you know, documents in front of her. She's kind of going over stuff. Her mouth is kind of moving. And I'm looking at her and I'm going, gee, what scene are you rehearsing? And she looks at me and says, what are you talking about? I'm just talking to myself.